70 million years ago, in the heart of primeval Madagascar, a new kind of life was beginning to thrive. Small but cunning, these early mammals learned to navigate a world ruled by giants. Their days were filled with the simple rhythms of life, foraging, playing, and the constant hum of the ancient forest.
Water, clean and abundant, was the lifeblood of their thriving community, a gift from the ancient earth.
But in this land of ancient power, peace was always a fragile, temporary thing. From the horizon, a terrible sign. The earth itself was stirring, awakening to a destructive fury. Nature's warning, primal and clear, echoed through the trees. Danger, vast and unstoppable, was approaching. Then, the ash began to fall. A silent, insidious tide that smothered the light and poisoned the air. The forest awoke in a panic. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest dinosaur, sought refuge from the dust. Their lush home, once a vibrant sanctuary, was rapidly becoming a graveyard of ash. The air itself became a weapon, each breath a struggle, each moment a challenge to their fragile lives.
To stay was to suffocate. They had to move, blind and choking, into the heart of the ashfall.
A fleeting refuge, a brief respite from the choking dust, but no true escape from nature's wrath. Then, silence. The ashfall ceased, revealing a world reborn in gray, silent and suffocating. Their home was gone, replaced by a haunting, alien landscape. A world of dust and ghosts. But the ash had claimed more than just their landscape. It had poisoned their most precious resource, water. Every attempt was futile, every drop of moisture tainted. Thirst, a new and terrible enemy, began its slow siege. The youngest suffered most, their fragile lives threatened by a thirst that burned from within.
He looked at his clan, then to the horizon. There was only one path.
Driven by desperation, they embarked on a perilous journey, leaving their dead world behind, hoping for a miracle. Their journey was a pilgrimage through a dead world, every step a battle against the choking ash and their fading strength.
The leader's will was the only thing that kept them moving, a single, defiant spark against an overwhelming despair.
And then, a new scent on the wind. The smell of life, of damp earth. They had reached the edge of the dead world. Before them lay a pocket of life, a lost, green paradise. Hope, a powerful fuel, gave their exhausted bodies a final surge of strength. They ran towards life. They entered a world of dripping green and strange sounds. A sanctuary, but one that held its own ancient secrets. Water was everywhere, in the air, on the leaves. But their bodies craved a clean...
And then, after journey through a gray hell, he found paradise. A sight beyond all hope.
A pristine pond. A pool of impossible clarity. A jewel of life in the heart of the ancient swamp. Salvation. The pure, sweet taste of clean water, washing away the ash, the fear, and the memory of their dead world.
The pond offered more than just water. It was a haven of life, a feast after famine, a new home.
Laughter, in their own small way, returned to the clan. The sounds of joy, echoing in their newfound sanctuary. But the ancient instinct of survival still hummed beneath the joy. The leader watched, sensing the subtle whispers of danger. The pond, so still and clear, held secrets. Subtle tremors beneath the surface. He saw the warning, a silent language from the depths. A new shadow was gathering over their fragile haven. They sought cover, their joyful exploration now a tense vigil. The paradise held a hidden cost.
Unaware of the silent observer, a small life stepped into the pond's calm, preparing to quench its own thirst.
The forest held its breath. The small dinosaur, oblivious, approached the waiting hunter. Then the water exploded, and the pond revealed its true colossal guardian, the devil frog. Their paradise had a king, a silent, colossal predator whose domain was the deep and whose hunger was insatiable. Paradise shattered. The clan fled, their minds seared by the image of the pond's monstrous guardian.
The great frog did not pursue. It was a creature of ambush and patience, confident its prey could not go far.
They sought refuge in the high branches, their fear forcing them into a new, vertical prison.
And from their perch, they witnessed the monster's meal. A grotesque display of the pond's terrible, unwritten law.
They understood now. The pond was not a gift. It was a trap, and they had walked right into it. The hours crawled by, and the fear of the frog was slowly replaced by the burning, familiar pain of thirst.
The leader looked upon their impossible choice, to die of thirst in the trees or risk the monster in the water.
A desperate test, a silent, cautious probe into the monster's domain to see if the danger had passed. But the guardian was always watching. Its eyes rose from the depths, a silent, unblinking sentinel. He was trapped. The clan was trapped. Their paradise was now a prison, and the jailer was a monster. He was trapped, not by claws or teeth, but by a silent, predatory gaze. To move was to die. The monster rose, its voice a deep rumble from the earth itself. A clear, final warning. From their high perch, the clan could only watch, their silence a desperate, fragile prayer for their leader's life. Unable to flee, he chose to deceive. A tiny splash, a desperate misdirection, his only hope. The frog's tongue, a lightning-fast club of muscle, struck with terrifying speed and power.
In that single, blinding strike, he saw the truth. There was no outrunning this monster. There was no escape.
A fleeting moment of distraction. He scrambled, not for safety, but for the anonymity of the deep green shadows. It let him go. A cat releasing a mouse. Its message was clear. This pond.
He returned to his clan, not just with his life, but with a new, terrible knowledge of the enemy's true power.
They were trapped. Thirst below, safety above, and a patient, lurking monster between them. The sun beat down, and their thirst became a raging fire. Hope was beginning to wither on the branch.
He looked at his clan and knew their time was running out. Fear would not save them. Only cunning could.
He began to study his enemy, to learn its rhythms, to understand its nature. He was no longer the leader watched. He saw how the monster's gaze was drawn, irresistibly, to the slightest movement on the water.
The key, the trigger, a disturbance on the surface, a splash, a movement. The frog did not think, it reacted.
His eyes scanned the shore, not for an escape, but for a weapon, a tool of misdirection.
A desperate plan was communicated, a gamble based on a single, vital observation, to trigger the trap and rob the bait.
They looked at their thirsty young and knew there was no other choice. They would take the gamble. The two lightest were chosen, their silent movements a prayer against a single snapped twig, a single alarm. In position, a silent standoff between the cunning of the mammal and the raw, reactive power of the amphibian. The signal was given. The desperate, insane gamble was now in motion. There was no turning back. They attacked the dead wood, their frantic efforts a drumbeat, a call to the monster below. The sound drew the monster's gaze. Its entire world narrowed to the source of the disturbance. The dead branch fell, a thunderous clap upon the water, a perfect imitation of a large, struggling prey.
Its colossal tongue struck the dead wood, a blindingly fast, instinctual attack, completely committed to the false prey.
The moment of distraction was their signal. The clan scrambled, a silent, desperate dash for life itself. There was no time to drink, only to gather the precious life-giver, their hands trembling as they stole from the monster's lair. The deception was revealed. The frog's cold, reptilian eyes found the true source of the disturbance, its fury now ignited. With their precious cargo, they fled, scrambling back into the shadows of the forest, their heist complete but their lives in peril.
The enraged guardian gave chase, its massive body surging through the water, no longer a patient hunter, but a vengeful monster.
A final, desperate lunge. The monster's jaws snapped shut on empty air, a victory measured in inches.
Its rage echoed through the swamp. A creature of the water, its power ended at the shore.
They fled, crashing blindly through the forest, the monster's roar at their backs, the taste of terror in their mouths. The diversion team, their task complete, now made their own desperate escape from the high canopy.
They had survived, but their prize was nearly lost. A few precious drops, all that remained of their desperate heist.
The clan was whole again, battered, terrified, but unbroken. Their risky gamble had not cost them a life. He knew this paradise was a lie, a beautiful, green grave. Their only hope for survival was back in the dead world. And so, they retreated, leaving the green paradise behind, choosing the predictable hardship of it. From a distance, the beauty was a perfect, deadly illusion, a lesson they had paid for in terror. The king roared his victory, a sound that echoed through the swamp.
They returned to the grey world, a land of predictable hardship, but one free of the monster in the water.
Back in the world of ash, they found a meager shelter, their bodies battered, their spirits almost broken by the ordeal. Their prize was small, a few precious drops. It was shared, each sip a testament to their shared courage and sacrifice. But it was not enough. A few drops could not banish the desert in their throats. Their ordeal was far from over. But the same disaster that had taken their world had, in its wake, left an unexpected gift.
Clean water, captured by the stone, filtered by the ash. A new, safe wellspring.
Salvation, found not in a beautiful paradise, but in a simple hollow of rock in their own desolate land. With water came a home. A new beginning, built not in a lush trap. And slowly, life began to return to the gray world, its resilience a mirror of their own. They had learned that the most beautiful places can hide the deadliest monsters, and that even in a world of weeks turned into months, the clan, in their gray valley, did not just survive, they began to thrive. Life returned in full. The memory of their great thirst washed away by the simple joy of abundance. The terror of the pond became a lesson, passed down through generations. Some beauty is a trap. Their greatest trauma had given them their greatest gift. A new wisdom, a new way to see their world.
The memory of the monster's eye would never truly fade. A scar, a reminder of the day they faced a god. But the scar was not a source of fear. It was a source of pride, a testament to their courage and their cunning.
The Devil's Pond remained, its beauty a permanent lure, its guardian a permanent threat.
It was not evil. It was simply a part of the world's great, brutal, and beautiful design. But a new power was rising. The power not of the solitary hunter, but of the cooperative, thinking mind. And in a world of giants, that was the only weapon that truly mattered.